Staccato for me today, and you did legato, so that's... Look at that.
Yeah. Look at that. We got the short, and we also got the smooth.
Yep, we
did it. We hope you're learning a little bit of Italian today.
And a little bit of music.
I think that's the language of music usually, right?
Yeah. You know,
all
like
those words.
That's what happens, man. That you get a lot here at the Grand Line Tourist. You get a lot of us. You get a lot of different aspects of life at the Grand Line Tourist.
Yeah, you know, what we really should be learning, though, is we should be learning Japanese, because here on the Grand Line Tourist, we examine Eiichiro Oda's One Piece, or we re-examine it if you are myself, because, oh no, if you're not myself, oh my goodness, if you're Eric, because Eric over there, he has gone through One Piece before. He's leading me, the titular tourist, through it.
I'm in two places at once, right? I'm at the beginning with you and the end with myself.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that that's pretty good, right? It's deep for no reason.
Yeah, no, way deeper and way smoother than my attempt at the intro today. But you know, we'll keep it in here. We'll we'll roll with it.
Yeah,
just
roll.
Just like Luffy would.
Exactly. And speaking of rolling with it, let's talk about what happens in this chapter. Chapter 23, the Dread Captain Usopp.
Okay, we have Nami, and she, you know what she's saying? We want to go to the Grand Line, but we're not ready to go to the Grand Line.
No,
we have two tiny, dingy worths of boats, so we need to get a bigger boat. Is basically what Nami
we also have
says.
no meat and no booze. These are two very important things to the other two idiots on the boat with her.
Yeah. Nami's a bit more practical. Luffy and Zoro, definitely less so. And then we learn about the fact that they're going to go and try to get this boat from a nearby island.
Yeah,
but we see. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we kind of flash to that island and see Usopp, the village youth, alerting the village about pirates that are coming their way. You know, just screaming it out loud. And what we ultimately learn is that Usopp's a bit of the person who cries wolf, you know, because
pirates.
There are no pirates coming, even though it was a good interplay there, because we thought, you know, we know that some pirates are coming, at least, you know, they consider themselves pirates.
Right.
But villagers chase Usopp, and Usopp hides, but is found by his trusty crew, Pepper, Carrot, and Onion, who looks like an onion. They all look pretty cool. Onion, though, actually has a real alert about 3 coming pirates, which are Luffy, Nami, and Zoro. And, you know, when they pull up and they dock their ship, they are seen. And Onion, Pepper, and Carrot, they go running away.
Food boys.
Yeah, the food boys. The food boys go scurry off. But Captain Usopp, you know, ultimately sits down at the local village restaurant of Meshi and, you know, just kind of talks it out with them after, you know, learning that they're not here. Yeah. You know, I got 80 million men poised to stop you. Don't dare come. It didn't quite work, you know.
Yeah.
And then we learn that there is, you know, this really cool mansion in the village, and a young bedridden girl whose parents got sick and inherited the mansion lives there. And Luffy is kind of debating with Nami about, like, hey, should we go, you know, see if we can get a boat from those sort of people? They decide not to go, and they also decline Usopp's desire to be their captain. Kind of comes out of left field. Usopp's a pretty bold character, yelling out that pirates are coming, saying, like, hey, you know, let me be your captain. And that's kind of where we end our chapter off. A little bit of a cliffhanger as we see Mistress Kaya, that's the bedridden girl, saying to her servant in the mansion that she wants to see Usopp. And that's kind of the cliffhanger that ends chapter 23, The Dread Captain Usopp.
And you mentioned he wanted to be captain, but he was offering just to be a crewman, right? I thought that's what he was saying.
I thought he said, I want to be your captain. I may have misread this.
Let's double check on your print, because on my Viz Media version, he says he would just like to be a crewman.
Oh my
am
goodness.
your crewman.
I'm putting...
Oh no, you're right. He does say captain. I am very wrong.
No. I mean, I could. It's a totally understandable mistake because it seems strange. It's very imposing, right? If I was to, you know, come over to your house and be like, hey, would you like me to be the owner of your house?
Yeah.
You know, it's a strange thing to do. But Usopp's a little strange. Likes to go running around spouting lies, you know. So it's it's in character, I
get
suppose.
why they say no thanks. Because before I was like, man, that's kind of cold of Luffy and them just to say no to him. But they're saying no to the fact that not only does he want to join, he wants to be like the leader of them. Okay, I get it now. Gotcha.
Yeah, no, and actually, you know, maybe a thought to start off our discussion today is, what do you think of Usopp? You know, now you know just the level of craziness that Usopp is willing to go to try to
Okay.
do pirate activities with other people and like screaming around the village, having fun. To be honest, is what Usopp looks like. But it's interesting.
That's supposed to be my question towards you because I've known Usopp for over a decade now at this point.
Oh, okay.
We need to hear what the tourist thinks. This very first introduction of this character to you, of Usopp, Captain Usopp. And the food
okay. There's I think I'm gonna start with visually.
Okay.
Usopp visually is a very interesting looking character. This is a black and white comic, so things that you cannot tell are like kind of like skin color and ethnicity sometimes kind of get blended out. And I don't know, like I guess it's almost, I really do want to know this, so I got to bring it up. Is Usopp like a darker skinned character, would you say?
He is. In the anime, he is. He is definitely a darker skinned character. Yeah, he's definitely some sort of ethnicity. Like he's he's different. He's not the same color as as the other characters. I guess that's the other.
No. Fair enough. I know. And the other thing I wanted to get at, because I actually just it's so interesting that you can kind of intuit these things from the design of a character. It just it goes into culture and like what we all like know about things, right? I was gonna say Usopp also kind of presents as slightly feminine. I'd say just a tad, at least to me. I don't know. I think it was the hair is kind of in that triangular shape. I'm not sure, but ultimately, we quickly learn. I think he's called he plenty of times. But no, I think it was a visually kind of like intriguing character to me. Is kind of what I got out of Usopp, and then also a character that does very intriguing things, just going around screaming, kind of having a little bit Luffy-ish in the nonsensicalness, not like doing it in the same way that Luffy would do, but willing to just kind of go out there and yell at the village seems pretty wild, right?
I think he's also like Oda definitely designed him to be more lanky, which I could see why you said the feminine side of it. Yeah, because he's more lanky he looks lankier than our characters that we've seen so far. And I also wanted to point...
I'm looking at one where he's just relaxing in a tree, and just like I think something about the way he poses himself and the smile. It's just actually a good sign that Oda doesn't kind of have every classic stereotype about male bravado applied to every character that is male, which is kind of nice,
Yeah,
and so it allows for this sort of thing to happen, which I was just like almost feels very progressive for a comic. For a manga that came out such a long time ago,
Yeah, he's definitely like Usopp falls into the whole like more a like he's definitely not like a confrontational I'll fight sort of character, right? Like his knee jerk reaction is to kind of lie and try to talk his way out of a situation, right? Out of a conflict. Which is funny, and I think he's kind of drawn that way. He's more goofy, like he's more of a goofy kind of fun character, right? I also wanted to point out that he has like a little Pinocchio nose. Like his nose is like drawn differently from all the characters that we've seen so far. Like I think that's just to kind of reinforce like because of Pinocchio and all that stuff. I think it's to reinforce the fact that like a natural reaction thing to him is to lie, and like it's funny to him. It's fun to do it.
No, and a particularly cool thing because we're in the medium of flat paper, right? When we're introduced to Usopp, we see the nose front on, which you would never be able to tell that it's long. And then the second Usopp turns a little bit to the side or does something, you can, you learn that it's a strange nose.
Yeah, he's
I like
designed
that.
differently. Yeah,
but I didn't pick up the Pinocchio part, so I do like that. That's a nice reference.
Yeah, that's what I kind of wrote down. I was like, that's kind of what I'm kind of seeing there. Speaking of design, you said you liked the design of the food boys.
Oh yeah, they're fun. I mean, they are just. I think it's really the short squatness of each of them. It almost didn't matter what they were, but their design's cool too. I also like on Carrot and Pepper, they have a similar skull and crossbones on both of their, like the beanie on Carrot has the same skull and crossbones that's on the shirt of Pepper. Almost like they're a part of a little gang together. I don't think Onion officially has a paraphernalia that has the pirate gang on it. I mean, he got left out. It's so sad.
I know. Little Onion. I love that Onion looks the most like the fruit that he's named after. At least his head in the hair.
No, it's really interesting. A quick thing I wanted to ask you, which is this is almost a little bit of a side tangent, but is the boat that they're on, was that Captain Buggy's actual big ship?
No.
Or is it like it was a small ship that they sent out from Captain Buggy's big ship, right?
Yeah,
okay,
Captain
just
Buggy
making sure.
Yeah, Captain Buggy has like a giant ship, right? Like a giant armada
Yeah.
of a thing. So he's not. I think he also had like a huge crew. So he must be sending them out to kind of like pillage off the.
No, it
distance.
totally makes
Yeah.
sense. I had a little brain fart when I was reading it, and I was like, wait a second. If they got a Captain Buggy ship, I'm like, it should be bigger than this, right? How did all those pirates fit? No, that makes sense.
Exactly.
It's a small part of the armada of Captain Buggy.
Yeah, man. So, yeah. I mean, that's what they are. That's why she mentions like we can't do the Grand Line like this. Like, there's no, like we're being rash and we're being a little foolish, a little stupid. So we should probably try to upgrade, which is fair, very, 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 very fair. Okay. So, which is that's actually my next point, which is I called it Nami's gun, like Chekhov's gun. Get it? She mentioned these two things. Will we see it get paid off? In this arc, and that's why is a segue to Jacob's tinfoil hat time.
Putting it on. It is tinfoil hat time. Jacob's prediction corner. Tinfoil time. What am I predicting on? I think she predicts what, that they're gonna need are you talking about once they get to the Grand Line?
The things that they need are a new boat and more people. So do we think we're gonna satisfy these two things that she thinks that we need?
I feel like this is a tee-up softball tinfoil time right here. The only thing that could be wrong about it, if I was to make a prediction, like, are they going to get both on this island, right? Like, enough to feel confident to go to the Grand Line? I don't think so. Like, I'm a little confused about how they plan to get the boat, Like, it feels like boats usually are on the edge of the island, on the docks. I feel like they would have seen where they're going to get this boat by now. They kind of docked in, like, a random rocky outgrove, so, like, I didn't see, like, the shipyard where they're gonna build a ship. Maybe this town's outfitted in a way that I don't understand yet, but I'm gonna cue it back and say I don't think they're actually gonna successfully get a boat. I think they will get more crew members though. That's my current guess.
Oh, okay.
I think we're pushing getting a boat down the line. We really want that here. It's a red herring. It's not going to happen.
It's a red herring. There we go. Tinfoil hat time. That's what we love to hear. And I specifically set it up. Nami's gun leading into Jacob's tinfoil hat corner time.
And this is a good one because it should be checkable relatively soon, I think, as opposed to lots of my other ones, which are like, maybe a character will show up eventually again, and then it's like, well,
yeah, we're not really
wait and see if it never happens.
Yeah. All right. That's everything I have essentially for this specific chapter. Can we move on to some jokes?
We got to talk about alcohol, Eric. We have a big drinking problem that we need to discuss, and is Luffy of drinking age? It looks like Zoro would be, but like Luffy was just chugging down grog at the local bar, and I'm not sure if this is appropriate for our younger listeners and watchers and tourists.
They're pirates. They drink whatever they drink, man. If they're old enough to be out at sea and risk their lives, I think they've earned themselves a drink.
Well, also, maybe grog isn't even alcoholic. I don't know. I assume it is, though. I feel like grog is the stereotypical pirate booze, right?
Nami also calls it booze, so I'm assuming you wouldn't assign the word booze to... There's been drinking. I don't know. Nami did a whole drinking contest with Buggy. Like, she drank the whole Buggy crew under the table, dude.
Is she of age? What's the drinking age in, the world of One Piece, I mean, actually, crap. I wish I could remember. I should be saying, what's the drinking age on... the Red Circle. No, what's the name of the land?
The Red Line?
The land. The Red Line, right? That's the ring that goes around the whole world that's all connected, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
What's the drinking age on the Red Line? Who's enforcing it? Apparently this is not done by anybody. We don't have a large central Red Line authority. That's what I'm learning. There's some social structures to be added to the world of One Piece that don't exist yet. Very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And with that question out of the way, yes, I think it's time that we get to some jokes, because Opie's got them. Opie's got jokes.
OP does have it. Every time you say Opie's, it sounds like you're saying Opie, which is like, who's that? Who's Opie?
Is Opie a character from something?
No, I don't know. Oh. It sounds familiar, but it sounds like when you said it the way you did in that specific inflection, it put it together. And I was like, oh, it sounds like. Okay.
No, and I feel like with the voice that you gave right there, I think we're clearly building a character. We'll workshop him.
We'll workshop it. Yeah, everybody stay tuned. We'll send out the evites into our OP workshop. We already kind of talked about it. We need meat and booze. I thought was pretty funny. I thought it was funny that Luffy brings it up a second time at the end, where she's like, "Well, let's stop by this island to see if there's a boat," and he's like, "And meat," which I thought was funny. So,
That was good. I liked
well,
well, wait, so we got Usopp running around, and I liked how the local townspeople were like, "Oh, Usopp's morning commotion. I best be off to work," as if this is a very consistent, reliable alarm clock. I just like that aspect.
yes, I love that too. I thought that was a great little. It's weird because when he's running through town, like some people are laughing and some people are like mad.
Oh yeah, it seems I just feel like it's your neighbor that has a really cool electric guitar, and you're like, yeah, I like it, but I don't like it all the time.
I know exactly.
You know? Like I have it's really cool that I have like a professional electric guitarist that can just like play Led Zeppelin whenever they want, but I really wish they didn't do it all the time every morning. So some neighbors seem to have taken kindly to Usopp and some have not.
Right. Yeah, I love that joke too. My next one was, what's the deal with those guys? This is right. Yeah, this is right when they land, right when Luffy and them land, and they do this really
Zoro,
cool,
right?
Yeah, Zoro's saying it. It is this really cool thing where you see an establishing shot of the point of view of Usopp and his crew spying on and the food boy spying on Nami and Luffy and them as they land, and you're like, oh, that's funny. That's just an establishing shot. And then we do a cut to Nami and Luffy. They're all talking and all that stuff, and then out of nowhere, Zoro goes, so what's the deal with those guys? And it goes to Usopp and them, which I thought was such a fun, like it made me laugh out loud, which I thought like it was unexpected. It's it's very it reminds me of a joke that what are those the British comedy troupe?
British comedy troupe. Oh, yeah. Monty Python?
Yeah, it feels like a very Monty Python kind of joke where it messes around with the spacing and like a certain cinematic language that we know as viewers we don't like. It caught me off guard because as a reader I thought like, oh yeah, it's just a establishing shot, there's no way they notice each other, right? Like that's the technique that they're going for, and it is really funny when Zoro's like we can see them.
Yeah, no, it totally subverts it, right? They're like dun, 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 hunkering down, like, and you're like, okay, this is gonna work. There's gonna have to be some sort of action that like disrupts this and causes them to finally meet, right? Like maybe they'll catch them on the way to town or something. Like, nope, Zoro's just got eagle eye vision over there, like whoosh, zeroes in on him immediately.
Yeah, so I think that's probably like my favorite joke of the whole chapter is that specific joke.
No, I really like that one. I think we've hit the other ones that I have. I thought Onion's look was really funny. I had Usopp's nose tear and how it was like a visual gag because you could only see it once Usopp turned was pretty funny.
Yeah.
And something that caught me later in the beginning of the chapter, when we have Usopp just about to like go screaming through the town. We have like these tweet of like the birds, and like we kind of show an establishing shot of the town, and you just get a good sense of like how peaceful it is before Usopp just goes screaming, doing like, pirates are coming, we're doomed. So I just like the Usopp's like complete ignorance of that fact that it's so nice and calm, and the desire to destroy it, right? And how it was accentuated with this, like the tweet of these two birds. It looks like the stereotypical way if you wanted to show like a fantasy town just looking calm and quiet and peaceful. Those birds were it. So I like that contrast there.
Yeah, my last joke is when he's trying to lie his way out of a fight from Luffy and them. He says he calls Nami a master interrogator, even though it's because you're making like really far out lies, bro. Like the 80 million pirates ready to fight, and she calls him out like, you're lying. And he's like, whoa, master interrogator, which I thought was just kind of a funny overreaction, because he's an over the top kind of character right now as a person.
Yeah.
Or sorry, he calls her, she's a master of interrogation. Because he also folds very quickly to his own lie. Like after she calls him out once, and she's like, "No, oh no, you've caught me." So it was kind of a fun little exchange.
Yeah, no, why couldn't Nami just yes and? Like Usopp is just really good at playing with really good improvisers, and so folds immediately under any sort of pressure or negation.
Nah, he's a bulldozer of an improviser. He goes up there, does his own thing, expects people to yes and him the whole time. Like, come on, man, leave some room. All right. We're going to go into... It's not going to be... I have to warn everybody on this next segment. It's not going to be much of a battle. Because sadly, Jacob has already talked about my panel.
Oh.
He's already nailed it.
I don't know what it is, though.
So
Oh wait, is it the tweets?
no, it's not the tweets.
Okay, not the tweets. Well, I see. It's kind of funny. It's almost a mystery still for me because we talked about it so much already. You know what? You want to go first? You want to end the suspension as I introduce what is the panel battle. This is where
go for it.
Eric and I pick our favorite, most meaningful, most touching, most humorous, whatever most we feel like putting up to contend for the chapter. They go head to head, and we talk about them and we reflect on what they did for us. And we don't want this to just be a conversation between only tourist and tour guide. We want it to be between tourists and tour guides everywhere. So feel free to reach out at grandlinetourist@gmail.com and keep the conversation going. But with that, Eric, do you have your panel prepped and ready to go?
Yep.
It's coming in hot off the presses. We have pirates. Well, that's Usopp's morning commotion. I'd best be off to work. And you know what? I'm glad you picked this one because I really like this panel just for the joke that I've already described, which is like this thing being basically an alarm for this person. But honestly, this is another example. You just got to go slower because I didn't get a good look at this guy. He is balding. He's got hair only in the back of his head. It looks like it's white. He's mid-sip of a cup of coffee that has a little bit of steam coming off of it. Mm-hmm. I assume his wife or, whoever he's living with now is, cleaning some dishes and getting one off the table. Maybe they just finished breakfast. It's time for work. Usopp's in the background, purely in black silhouette, just looking ridiculous. Some lines of exclamation coming off of him as he says pirates. Just very, it does a lot of work in this panel, Shows you a little bit of the town from it. It's quite interesting because this is like, we just go into this house for just literally one frame, just to see these characters. And then we're out, somewhere else in the town where they start chasing him. So well chosen. But yes, well predicted by me, I suppose.
Yeah, no, I like that it establishes so much. It's like, it's just so much in a single panel. Like that one line of dialogue of like, well, Usopp's at it. I gotta go to work. I love that it's like, it's such a good line that establishes like, this is more routine. He lies a lot. And this is my reaction to how much he lies. Like, it doesn't seem like it bothers him. It's more like it's part of my life now. It's part of this routine. It's fun. It's such a quick line that it's funny, and it just establishes, like, the world a little bit of this island that we're on, right? Because essentially every time they go to a new island, it's a new world. And we need to learn new rules of this island. And Usopp lying in the morning about something ridiculous is a rule. And like this is a thing that happens.
Oh, very nice, very nice. All right, go ahead and take a. I don't know what I was gonna say. Gabber walk. I don't know. I want to. I wanted a funny word for take a gander. That's the classic one. Take a gander at the panel that I sent you.
All right. Which one?
It's gonna be the lower panel on the page.
Oh, okay. So this is Usopp talking about Kaya, and he goes, about a year ago, both the poor girl's parents got sick and died. They left her with a huge inheritance, a mansion, and a dozen servants. But in this panel, we can kind of see it's half Usopp and like him also visualizing the mansion and there's coins falling down. It's in his mind of like this picture of the mansion and everything. But what he's describing, like it sounds like, I don't know, it makes it just a little lonelier and just it separates it in a different way, and it kind of builds this picture of this character that we haven't met yet. We just know it really establishes the money and the wealth of this person, of this character that we haven't seen. Yeah, is there
no, that's well said. I think that main reason that I kind of put it is for that mixing of technique. We have the establishing shot in memory of this, this mansion combined with, because we're talking about like the huge inheritance, we have the gold kind of falling, and this just feels like very cinematic. This is what you would kind of do if like you'd say like, Batman's parents were rich, but he got shot in the alley. You'd like your swipe to the Batman shot would be gold falling through the screen, right? And then you see Batman in the alley because you wanted to just prime you for this idea that there's richness involved here. And so it was cool to see it done in comic book form, in the manga form on the page, just with Usopp's memory right there. I thought it was very, very creative, very nice, very interesting.
Yeah, it's a good choice. It's a good choice. Well, I've already declared that I automatically lose this week because Jacob already chose it out of thin air. I didn't even think he noticed this panel. I thought I was going to be so smart by choosing this panel, but he did. So he's getting really good at this tourist thing.
That's right.
So
you take a few cruises, you know how to do it.
Yeah. Jacob, as the winner, you choose the onomatopoeia we're going to end this chapter with.
Ooh. Okay. So the most impactful sound, clearly, that was made in this entire chapter was the tweets at the beginning, because we were dealing with a very idyllic town, and, we're just going to have a very idyllic ending. So it's going to be whatever sounds come to our, brains that would just establish that this is a peaceful place, a place to relax, and maybe find a ship if you can find someone who has one. All right.
Right.
And so that scene is set.
Right.
Tweet. Tweet.